Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Building and Zoning, or the Committee of the Whole meeting for May 4, 2021. I call this meeting to order and ask the clerk again to please call the roll.
Trustee Daney?
Here.
Gansey? Here. Gunstein?
Here.
Hopkins?
Here.
Ranke?
Present.
Sawansky? Here. President Wallace?
Here. First item on our committee meeting this evening is under Building and Zoning. Chairman Hopkins.
Thank you, President Wallace. We have two items on our agenda. The first one is the Grasslands Subdivision. The petitioner is requesting to rezone 192 acres in a planned development zoning district for a proposed mixed-use development located at Route 59 and West Bartlett Road. With that, I will turn it over to Ms. Grill. Are the petitioners here tonight? Oh.
Zoom. Thank you. All right.
Roberta, you always get the fun slideshows and everything.
Oh, I know. Okay, so I thought tonight, since you had such a large memo in your packet, and it was a lot of information and a lot of technical data, that I would actually just do a broad brush general summary, go over the development plan, the type of uses, the proposed curb cut locations, and then finally the bike path and the extension of the trail, if that's okay.
Yes.
And then if you have any specific questions, I'll be glad to answer those. I do know the petitioner, the property owner, is on the line. They do have their consultants with them too. So if you have any questions for them, they can answer it. Okay?
Perfect.
So on the screen is the subject property. You can see that it contains quite a few different zoning classifications. They are requesting to rezone the entire 192 acres to the PD Plan Development District. And the PD Plan Development District is specifically designated for a mixture of uses, and which this is, with commercial, attached residential, and single family. Here is the PUD plan, the layout. Let me make sure. And I'll start with the 81 single-family traditional lots that are located at the southwest corner. So we've got Naperville Road on the west side of the property, West Bartlett on the south side of the property. 59 is on the east side, and we have the railroad tracks that are the commuter line, which bisects the property. So at the southwest corner, again, are the single-family, what I call the traditional lots. They would be maintained by the homeowners, just like any other regular single-family lot. We have the active adult single-family lots, or the cottages, at this location here. These are smaller lots. These would be maintenance-free, and they would be taken care of by the association, as is the proposed active adult duplex lots, shown here. These three neighborhoods would be part of a, what I would consider a phase one development. The owner or petitioner would sell these to a builder, and the type, I have a picture. This is a picture of the traditional single family. Then I need to move this. Then we have the active adult cottages, and then the duplexes here. Okay. Going back, phase two would be the townhome development, 116 units located north of the tracks off of Naperville Road. Cook County did ask the petitioner to move the proposed curb cut location as far north away from the railroad tracks as possible, and Crown Development has done that, as you can see. The tree line that the caller was inquiring about was located right at this location, and yes, this is going to be in a tree preservation easement.
How many feet is that preservation?
Oh, that's a good question. You think it's 40? Okay, it's 40.
So does that include all the trees? Because there's a pretty thick tree line there, right?
Yes. There is going to be a sidewalk along the north side of this street, but yes, it's 40 feet.
So I assume there would be like a tree survey,
Yes,
and if there's any diseased trees, they'll be cut down.
yes, they are
That's
tagging
an
those,
important
yes.
point for the residents, because they may see that and think, oh, God, we're cutting it down.
Right,
But
not-
maybe it's just the poor quality or invasive trees that they're going to cut.
Yes.
Okay.
Not every tree is a good tree.
Will they be replaced if they're cut down?
It depends on the size. Typically, that's what our ordinance calls for, but yes, we can ask them that. And again, it depends on the spacing. Sometimes when you take out a tree, it allows the other trees to grow larger. So we have to take a look at it. We don't have that at this time. That tree survey is going to come in at the final platting stage, and this is the preliminary stage. The townhome development would be part of a phase 2. In the future, and at this time, they do not have someone that is purchasing the property. Moving on, we have the commercial area down at the southeast corner at 59 in West Bartlett. It is approximately 6 acres in size. However, when you take out the right-of-way taking and the wetland and the buffer area, this property is now down to about 4 acres of buildable area.
Roberta, what are they contemplating as far as the build-out? How many years is this, if this gets approval, how long will it take?
The builder for the residential?
Yeah,
Oh, I think that's going to go very quickly,
oh, really?
very quickly.
Okay, thank you.
Let's see here. And then, so I'd like to go over, since we're on the commercial, let's see if I can find that. This is a blow-up
Do they
of
have
the...
any,
Go
do they
ahead.
have any interest right now in commercial, the commercial retail
We're
area?
actually sending people their way, but I think once the construction starts out there, that commercial piece is going to be very, very valuable.
Did they give you any idea of who it might be?
No.
They haven't, okay.
No, they don't have anyone
Yeah.
at this time.
Yeah, I know, it's premature.
Find that commercial. It's not in here. Okay, I'm missing a slide. It's okay. We'll move on. Okay, so the curb cut location, since we're talking about the commercial piece, at this time, they are proposing a right-in, right-out at this location off of the commercial site. They are also proposing a full access point.
So everybody knows that's 59.
Yes, this is Route 59. Here's West Bartlett. Yeah. They are also proposing a full access point across from the drive of Victory Center, which is also a full access. That would lead into this commercial site here. And then finally, the third access point would actually be coming from the north inside the neighborhood, so that anybody that lives in that neighborhood could walk, bike, or if they wanted to drive, could do so without having to turn left onto West Bartlett and then turn left again into the development. They don't have to go out onto the street.
Roberta, give me an update, or maybe Dan can. What is what's going on with the intersection of West Bartlett Road and Route 59? Because that backs up tremendously right now.
We're trying to get an update from IDOT on that project. It was actually supposed to have a June letting, and that is very unlikely because we have not heard from them. And there's an agreement that we would be entering into with them and all that. So my guess at this point is going to be pushed back a year. But we're trying to get an update from them as we speak. We've been trying to get in touch with them, but haven't been able to get a response. We know it's underway. It's just, since we haven't heard from them, June is unlikely.
Dan, do me a favor, will you please? When you find out, I have a number of people that have asked me about that, and they ask me about it repeatedly. When you find out, could you just give me a call so I can pass it along?
Yep, we can do that.
Thank you.
The idea then to expand that intersection?
So with that intersection, yes, it'll be identical to the Stearns in 59. So you'll have right turn lanes, dual lefts at all 4 legs. So very similar to what Stearns in 59 is. So it'll greatly improve the eastbound to northbound movement, which is, I think, what Trustee Daney was talking to, backs up into Peaks. And that's one of the issues, I think, on Naperville is right now, because that backs up, Naperville tends to be a favorable movement. But once that intersection gets improved, I think that will draw some of that traffic from Naperville.
It'll draw a lot of it, because they'd really prefer just to, because right now they can't stack. They have to wait through 3 lights.
Right.
If a semi's going down, going eastbound on West Bartlett Road, it's 2 or 3 lights they have to wait through before they can actually get a left turn onto 59.
Right. It'll greatly improve.
There's no way they can do that.
Right.
And there's an accident every day there.
Yeah. So, yeah, we really need to escalate, we've been hounding IDOT on that. We have been for 2 years now, I think.
And IDOT, you know, trying to get confirmation, because we've had this experience with most of the state agencies during the pandemic, is we hear nothing, and then all of a sudden we hear, get that on your agenda in 2 days. So I really would like to hear the confirmation from the state on this intersection, because, you know, they could say, oh yeah, it's still in the June letting. You know, their communication has been very difficult.
Maybe we reach out to our new representative.
We have a phone call with one of our representatives later this week, and it's on the agenda.
Good. Okay.
Wouldn't it be better to have that intersection done before you start the construction on this subdivision?
They won't start the commercial until it's done.
They won't.
They won't.
Yeah,
That's my knowledge.
Good.
I'm assuming IDOT's also going to request some funding from the developer. If they're getting that access on 59, IDOT's going to want its pound of flesh.
Yeah. I can tell you these, just FYI, these type of units that are senior, I've got several people that I know that are looking for those, and they had a terrible time. They had to go clear to McHenry to find someplace that they could actually buy a lot. Once they go for sale, they're gone.
Okay.
So before you keep going, now are the full access on West Bartlett Road, are any of those going to be signalized?
Not at this time. They did not warrant that.
Okay.
Okay. So we talked about the full access point in the commercial. I would say the primary access with this boulevard is located across from Cheviot Drive, is here.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, I scaled it off about 1,000 feet from the 59 intersection.
That's where the Victory Center is.
No, it's
No, Victory Center is
it's a
across from
little
the commercial,
bit west
full
of the
access.
Victory Center.
That's the entrance for the commercial.
This is across from Cheviot Drive.
All right.
Okay. And then moving westward up Naperville Road, the secondary access point, with, again, a full access into the neighborhood at this location. And then the final access point, which I already mentioned, is the full access into the townhome development.
And is there, within the access point there, there's the intersection where it says Street A, is there a stop sign there? I'm just wondering about safety at that intersection.
There will have to be, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And how is it determined where the access points are off of West Bartlett Road?
Well, how is it determined where they're located, the curb cuts?
Yes, like for safety purposes and...
Well, we always try to, and Dan can attest to this, we always try to align with what's across the street.
Okay.
And we do have like a minimum separation in our subdivision ordinance, but this far exceeds that. So they did what staff would recommend, which is putting the primary access across from an existing curb cut. And the same with the commercial across the street, too.
Okay.
Okay, and then finally, on the plan, we have open space. This 10-acre piece here, this lot, which actually, if you can see it, has a small finger that goes all the way to 59 here. This property, and then this 11 acres on the east side of 59 at the northeast corner. The petitioner is proposing to dedicate those to the Park District, and the Park District Board is actually reviewing those at this time. And so we hope to hear from them soon. And then finally, because we're talking about this open space area here, you can kind of see this path system that we've been working on with the property owner. Here's the better look at it. So this is superimposed over the aerial photo. Again, West Bartlett is here. So this is Park Place Drive, and we are looking at trying to keep the crosswalk. We would like to take people from the existing bike path on the south side of West Bartlett Road to the north side to this 11-acre piece. And we want to do it as far away, as safe as possible from the intersection at 59. And we think that this private drive at Maryville Academy might be the spot. So the path then would meander through this property, cross under 59, and then again back onto the Crown property, meander through the subdivision, down through the park, and it actually goes all the way over, meanders through wetlands and detention areas all the way over to Naperville Road. So I think I have a couple pictures that are not in your packet. So this, you're saying what's it going to look like? Well, we think it's going to look like what's on the right. This actually exists under, this is Lake Street, here where the truck is on, and this is 59. And this was the bike path that they put in under Lake Street. They had a slope here, just like this slope, which is the existing slope under 59 at this site. So we are thinking that we could put a retaining wall with fencing, and maybe we would probably need, again, it depends with the railroad, additional fencing on this side. But we think that it could look something like this.
I know on the plan right before it says by other. Can you define that for me, please?
Well, that's a good question, because we are negotiating that with the owners right now, and we are putting together, and this is going to be included in the development agreement that we bring to the board.
Okay.
So we're still working that out.
Well, is the current status of negotiations such that the developer would be paying for this work?
We are looking at different options. We have talked about possibly having the petitioner put it in, and then the village might pay for it through grants. There are quite a few grants associated with this type of bike crossing under a large major arterial. We don't know yet, but we are still working that out. We're going to do our best.
I'm sorry?
We're going to do our best to try to get a grant for that.
Okay, and so you said grants. So the village wouldn't be giving the grant, the village would be obtaining the grant and putting that money towards construction of the underpass. Okay.
That's what we're thinking. There are a couple Cook County grants out there right now.
Okay.
So we're going to try. We've got Tyler on it, so.
The Grant Pro.
Yes.
And with that large of a property, I'm sure that we can entice both builder and petitioner, developer and petitioner to contribute as well. So that's the plan.
And also, we've asked the petitioner to contribute the village's share of the West Bartlett Road and 59 intersection
Improvement.
So.
In regards to how George LeBron's talking about Naperville Road, is this something where we can request?
You guys take your mask off when you talk.
Is this something where we can request when they are coming in to build that the trucks are coming down 59 to go in instead of adding traffic, more traffic?
Well, 59 is a truck route, so yes, they should be going down 59. That is correct, yes.
Yeah, I think that what Mr. Dinges said earlier is pretty accurate. The trucks really, I mean, it's not easy if you've seen a truck try to make that turn at 20 and Naperville Road. It's much easier for them to go straight to 59 and take a left. They just don't do it now because they don't want to sit in. If you've ever been there, most of the time during the day, even after Rotary Club at 1:30, it's backed up. You have to get in the other lane just to get by. It's backed up at 1:30 in the afternoon. It only takes 3 or 4 trucks to back that up. So as soon as you get both, you got 2 lanes there to stack them, it'll be much more convenient for trucks to just keep going straight, take a left on 59.
During construction of this project, can we mandate that any access off of Naperville Road during construction, the trucks have to turn left? They cannot turn right and go northbound on Naperville Road?
We can definitely ask that, yes.
Good point.
Yeah,
How
that's good.
enforceable would that be? I agree, but I don't think that can be enforceable.
I think if...
We can sign it, and we can put it in, the agreement.
I think we can just ask the developer to not let trucks out of his project that side.
Yeah.
What was that?
We can ask the developer not to allow trucks to exit the construction site on the Naperville Road.
We have that authority. We can ask them to do that. We can put the construction entrance, on West Bartlett Road.
Right.
We haven't gotten that far yet.
See the chief's shaking his head, so affirmative, negatively.
I'd just like to make the comment that I think that's a great usage of that land, and I think that it's been a long time coming. So I'm very supportive with moving this on.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is there any other questions from the committee?
No.
We'll send this to the Plan Commission for further review and to conduct a public hearing, and it doesn't need to go to the ZBA, correct?
It does not.
Okay. Very good. The next item on our agenda is the Bike and Run Committee recommendation. The Bike and Run Plan Advisory Committee was established by Ordinance 2016-21 for the purpose of reviewing the village's existing bike plan and bike paths to make recommendations to the corporate authorities, and they've done so here. And with that, I'll let Roberta give us a rundown. Go.
Chrissy.
Good evening. So we were awarded a local technical assistance grant by CMAP for a bicycle plan in 2019 with the village of Streamwood. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, the plan was not started until March of this year and is not expected to be completed until fall 2020. The Bike and Run Advisory Committee requested staff come up with a few bicycle projects that the village could complete in the short term before this plan is underway. Staff proposed 3 possible projects to the Bike and Run Committee. The first one was to do a signed bike route from the Route 59 path that IDOT completed as part of their intersection improvements, which would be an on-street route signed, which would take people to the village's downtown. It meets several of our strategic plan goals, and it is also something that we'd be able to complete in the short term, meaning spring or summer of this year. The second plan was to actually do a signed bike route on Mayflower and striped parking lanes on Mayflower and East Struckman Boulevard. It's something that other towns have done, which provides on-street parking, so we're not eliminating that. The parking lanes provide a place for bicyclists to ride outside of the travel lane. It also calms traffic by making people feel like the lanes are narrower than they are. There won't be any changes to the pavement width, it's simply striping. And then that is also something we would be able to complete this summer. The third plan or proposal that we had was to approach DuPage County about doing a designated bike lane on West Stearns Road shoulder. It's something we want to go forward. It's been on their plans for the entire time I've been at the village. The village has always had it on our plans as well. We would like to approach them about seeing what we can get done now that the Stearns and 59 intersection improvements are done to get the connection all the way to the state park. So we would like to move forward and see what they're willing to do and get that conversation started.
Is this all paid for by grant money?
No.
Okay.
Just about.
Just about. Should we leave it at that?
It's, yeah.
Because I think this is, I think this is one of the first things that the Bike and Run Committee has sent us to actually.
And thank you, Trustee Ranky.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to thank the
Well done.
people.
You know, Trustee Ranky did say to get ready to spend some money.
I did.
Last meeting.
Yeah.
Something we called managing.
I thought you meant we were just going to go get a gallon of paint and you and I were going to go paint some stripes.
We can handle that. But the credit
could arrange
goes to
for
the
that.
Bike and Run Committee and the staff. They have been incredibly helpful and patient with the committee, and the committee's been very much, they've contributed a lot of insight into this.
So ballpark.
Just on the, as far as costs, item 1 is signage. which we will do in-house, so it's minimal impact. Item 2 is striping. We do a striping contract every year. Again, that's a minimal impact. Number 3, the Stearns Road, if you've been out there, they're actually paving it now, so we've started that discussion on whether this is an option or not. And that would be the time, because you'll have nice, fresh asphalt down, be the time to stripe.
Is that all DuPage, all the way out?
Yes.
Did we talk to Zay or any of those guys?
Haven't gone there yet.
They
but-
can buy, that's been on their plans forever, let's just push them on it.
Yeah, that's where we're at, and right now, they're discussing it to see how we'd work that out.
Okay.
We can talk to Mr. Zay.
Even if we don't, that Stearns Road striping would be fantastic.
There are, the biggest items on that stretch is, there's a stretch as you go towards 59, that sidewalk, that would have to be torn up and put in as bike path. And then at the very far west edge, you can see the worn path right now, but you have to connect it up to the stone path through the state park. Relatively short, wouldn't be that much to get that in. So it's a relatively simple 3 projects that we can try to cross off.
There's a nice underpass on 25 right there.
Yes.
I've ran through that numerous times. Yeah.
How quick could this be turned around and sent to the village board for a vote?
Next meeting.
Because I'd really like to see the hard work that the Bike and Run Committee, I mean, they've been working on this, and I'd like to see it.
Get some answers and get it done by next meeting.
Can we then, promote this a lot to show people like where the paths are at? I'm not, like, I love taking bike rides, but I don't always know where the paths are at, so it seems like a good opportunity for us to really promote it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there any other questions from the committee?
Are we gonna formally vote on this, or at the board?
Does anybody have any issues with it at all? Then I think that's pretty much formal vote, so informal vote.
Move it along then.
It has to be at the next board meeting and we'll get it going.
Yeah.
On the consent.
Great.
But if it's under $25,000, it doesn't need to.
Yeah, I mean, I think the striping. Sorry. Signage will be under that. The striping will be in the striping contract, which you will vote on. And then, we have the direction to, turn up the heat with DuPage County.
Yes.
So I think we're good.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Great.
All right, those are the only 2 items under building and zoning
Thank you.
tonight.
Thank you, Chairman Hopkins. And with that, we will be adjourning to executive session to discuss the sale of village-owned property pursuant to Section 2C6 of the Open Meetings Act.
So moved.
So we are adjourned to executive session.
Need a roll call on that.